Welcome back everyone, this is MandoAllDay, back with another video, and in this video I'll be doing an overview of weapons pack number 1. I already did, previously I did the weapons pack number 2 by Todd McFarlane. I'll have a link to it, but this is weapons pack number 1. So I'll be showing you the details in terms of each weapon and paint, and of course if it's worth the purchase or not. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button to support the channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So let's take a look at, well, I'll show you guys the box. I know some people like looking at the box. This is the front of the box looks like, which I actually prefer this because you can actually see the weapons because they're packaged pretty well. And there's the side, there's nothing to it. The other side, the top just says McFarlane, and of course the bottom is just that. Now the weapons pack number 2 comes this kind of look like that, which I don't like that. I prefer this because you can actually see the weapons because they're packaged pretty darn well. And they're packaged like this, just like the weapons pack number 2. So let's take a look at each weapon itself, and we'll take a look at each one, and then towards the end I'll kind of give you my opinion on which ones I think it's better and some differences in terms of paint. But regardless, so let's take a look at the first weapon here. Here we have a barrel shotgun, which looks really cool. I like the look of it, the texture of it looks good. You got the grip handle right here on the shotgun. You got that kind of brown to it here, makes it look like it's wood. Obviously it's not, but a really good looking shotgun though. Just look at that detail, looks really good. All that texture looks good. Even the grip handle looks really good, and of course that long barrel. I wish the barrel had more of like scuff marks to it, make the shotgun look a lot better, but nonetheless still really good looking shotgun. And then the other side, pretty much same thing exactly, just very similar. The only difference though is on this side of the shotgun, it's very plain right here, but on the other side you can actually see where you can put the shotgun ammunition. But cool looking shotgun though, nonetheless, very classic looking shotgun. Next is going to be something that McFarlane would make. It's a really long rocket launcher. It looks really cool and ridiculous and pretty tall too. Like this is more than a half of the Joker here, but here we go. Here is the rocket launcher. Very textured, clean looking. I wish this one had more color to it, but it is what it is though. You got the look here on the back, more the textured. You got the shoulder piece on here too. You got the handle, and of course another grip handle. You got the trigger. Just look at that, all of that detail. Again, very subtle, but it looks really good. I really dig it. Look at that right there. I noticed too, the color of this actual rocket is different. So I don't know if my camera can pick it up. This is kind of like a matte black, but yet over here it's kind of like a shine, glittery kind of green. I don't know if my camera can pick it up or not. Very subtle, but it looks good. Then you got more of the texture on here too. The back of it is actually, you can kind of see through it right there. See that? Really good looking rocket launcher. Pretty long too, but I dig it though. I like it. Cool looking rocket launcher. Next up we have, if I can put this in there. Alright, and it's not, there you go. This is, I believe, an automatic rifle. I could be wrong, but there you go. Really cool looking, clean looking automatic rifle here. You got the more of the shoulder piece on here. You got that texture look also too on here on the sight. You got the magazine. You got the texture on the magazine, the handle. I like how it's indented on the handle right here. You got that barrel, which again, I'm not familiar with weapons. I don't know the terminology, so bear with me. But you got more textured here on the barrel. Good looking weapon, man. Again, McFarlane does really good job with these weapons, and they just look really good. Here's a prime example. Really good looking weapon, which I really dig. I like this weapon. And the other side, same thing. Good looking weapon. Clean looking. But it looks really good. I really dig this weapon. Really cool. Here we have I believe it's called the AK-47. Really long magazine size. And of course that brown kind of look to it. Makes it look like it's wood. You got that short handle on here, which I like the texture on here in the handle. You got the actual trigger. Long magazine size. Again, more textured on the handle right there. Makes it look like it's wood. But it's not, of course. Nice little clean design on the barrel. All that textured. Again, very subtle, but it looks really good, man. I really dig it. Of course, you got the brown and that kind of black look to it. So, it is what it is. I wish there was more color to it compared to weapons pack number 2. because weapon pack number 2 does have more color, which I'll show you towards the end. You guys can see what I mean. But overall, though, really cool looking gun. I really dig this gun. It looks really, really good. I dig it. Next up we have is a Desert Eagle. I believe it's a Desert Eagle, but yeah. It's a Desert Eagle. There's 2 of them on here, so this is one of them. And the other one is here. So there's 2 of the Desert Eagles. Just showing you guys. So you get just 2 of these, but let me just show you what it looks like on here. So there is a Desert Eagle. It looks good, looks very clean. Look at all that detail. You got that barrel, you got the trigger, you got that textured on the handle right here. You can see that right there. There you go, much better on there. Really cool looking weapon. I really dig it. And it looks good. A lot of detail on this weapon. It's a small weapon that you would think that McFarlane will have a difficulty making look good, but man, he nailed it. He nailed it with this weapon. It looks really, really cool. I really dig it. And there's 2 of them, so even better. Next up, we have, I believe it's called an Uzi. Correct me if I'm wrong. But really cool looking weapon. I really dig this weapon. Again, very old school. You've seen this weapon a ton of times in movies. They do a lot of drive-bys on, like, you know, gangster movies, but there you go. Long magazine. The handle. I wish the handle had more of a design, but nonetheless, though, clean looking. Here's the other side on there too on this Uzi. Again, not much design on it, clean looking, but that's how the weapon looks like. So overall, I dig it. Like I said, clean looking, but it looks good. Next up, we have, of course, this is a weapon that Joker would rock. If you know this weapon, if you know what I'm talking about, then leave it in the comment section. But here you have the revolver, the really, really long revolver. What I like about this one is the paint. So you got that brown on the handle. I wish the brown had kind of more like scuff marks to it, make it look like wood, but nonetheless, though, it has that brown, make it look like it's wood, and of course that long revolver. Looks good. The paint's good. It has like silver kind of paint to it, and you get the revolver. It's a clean looking weapon. It's just really, really long barrel. And if you know this reference from, you know, leave it in the comment section below in terms of which reference, which movie this is from. So this is from a movie, but nonetheless, so really cool looking revolver. I really dig it. It's ridiculous, but nostalgia right here. Next up, we have this grenade launcher. It looks good. You get that large magazine, but a really cool looking one. Just look at the handle right here. Another handle on there too, and then you get the really long, but really thick ammunition magazine. Just looks good. You got the shoulder piece on here. You got the texture on the handle right there. More texture design right there too. Really cool looking grenade launcher. Just massive. And this is something that McFarlane would make, man. I'm not surprised he would make something like this. And it looks good, man. Just look at all of that detail. Again, look at all of that detail on this weapon pack. It looks really, really good. I really like the look of it. Especially the magazine set. Just the magazine set just looks huge, even from a distance. Just grabs your attention. I really dig it. I really dig this weapon. I dig this one. Next up, we have a... this is from... This weapon reminds me of the character named Hitman. Have you guys ever played that video game? But it's a really long silencer with a... looks like it's a 9mm, probably a Desert Eagle, but nonetheless, though, clean-looking weapon. It's a little messy on here. I mean, up close, you can see more of the design right there, like it's in numerics. But from a distance, kind of looks messy, but... cool looking weapon. I wish the black here would have that textured look to make it look like a black wood, but it's just black paint. You got that long silencer, and of course, I'm assuming it's a Desert Eagle, but just look at that detail, and I like that silver. That silver looks really good, especially with the light reflecting on it. Looks really, really cool. And here is the opposite side. Again, cool looking weapon, really long silencer, and again, reminds me of that video game character, Hitman. Really, really cool looking one. I dig this one. Alright, now the next one is, it's a weapon that personally I'm glad they made 2 of them, but at the same time, unfortunately, is probably the weakest out of all of them. It's this regular 9mm. It's clean looking, or a Glock as some people call it. It's clean, it's just simple texture design. I mean, it is the weakest out of all. I think even including the weapons pack, this is probably the weakest one. The good thing, there's 2. I mean, you have Hushster rocking one of them, but There you go. There's two of them. Here's one of them, but there's two of them inside here. But not much going on in terms of the texture. It just looks very colorful. What is looks plain looking. So it is unfortunate, but you do get two of these, so I guess that's a good thing. They include two of them. All right, next up are my top three of this whole entire weapons pack, and these are the three that I think look really good and make this whole entire weapons pack really, really shine. First one is going to be, I don't know what this is called, but you got this short, looks like it's a futuristic pistol. It reminds me of Call of Duty when I used to play years ago, but just look at the texture on here. Just look at that. You got the hand on here. You got the trigger, the magazine. You can see the weapon on there too. Just look at all that texture. Just looks amazing, man. This is something that, to me, Deathstroke or Deadshot would rock. This is such a cool looking weapon, man. And this is something only McFarlane would do. It just looks amazing. Just look at all of that texture. Just look at that. And to me, this is my third favorite weapon of this whole entire accessories pack. Number one. And it looks really, really, really cool. You got more of that texture on here, more texture there. On top of your tier, you got more textured, even down to the barrel in the front. Just look at that, all that detail. Again, only McFarlane would do something like this, and it looks really, really, really cool. Just look at that. That looks fantastic. To me, it reminds me of a futuristic weapon. This is my third favorite one. My second favorite one. Actually, I forgot to do this weapon. Oops. Before I show you my second favorite one, let me show you this other weapon. I almost forgot. I don't know what this is called, but good, clean-looking weapon. You got the grip handle here, which there's texture because it kind of looks plain. Long magazine. Another handle on there with a little bit of texture. But again, very clean-looking weapon. Can't really complain. It looks good. Texture looks good. The paint has that black paint to it, which I like it, but I don't, and I'll talk about it towards the end. But there you go. It's one side, and then the other side, same thing, just this is more plain on this side. But overall, clean-looking weapon. Can't hate. Look at that. I like it. I like this weapon. Again, it's clean-looking. All right, my third favorite weapon on here. The second favorite weapon on here. This is like, man, this is what I'm talking about. It's this weapon right here. Look at this. Just look at all of that textured material. Just look at that. The magazine, the texture in the magazine, the handle, the grip handle on here has a kind of two texture to it. The shoulder piece on here, the part where the bullets come out, the barrel. Just looks fantastic. Just look at all of that detail. Just looks amazing. And to me, this is a weapon that Deathstroke would rock, would wear. If you were going up against Batman or anyone, this is a weapon that he would wear. Just look at all of that texture. Just amazing. Look at that. Just amazing. In the top there, you guys can see more texture. You got that scope on here. Just fantastic, man. This is why I like McFarlane, especially accessories. Because you get stuff like this, it just looks amazing. Just look at all of that detail. This is top notch. This is top notch. I really like this weapon. And again, this is my second favorite. Right? Just look at the magazine. Just that detail. Just all of that detail. Just looks amazing. All of that. Even right there too. Just top notch. Just look at all of that. Just top notch. And of course, my favorite weapon out of the accessories pack number one. I don't know what this weapon's called, but I'm just going to call it definitely must buy. Just this right here. This weapon right here. This is top notch. Just look at that texture, that long magazine. Just look at all that texture right here in the magazine. Look at that right there and here too. The handle has more texture there. More textured here. All of this right. Just look at this. Just the shoulder piece on there. All of that texture. Look at that. Even on here too. The little holes on there too. Hole for the ammunition to come out. And I believe this is like a grenade launcher type of thing. So you got another trigger on there too. Small little holes on there. More detail inside right there. Just all of that detail. That looks amazing. This is to me my weapon. My favorite weapon of the weapons pack number one. Just look at all of that detail. And of course, yes, this is something that Deathstroke would rock. Just look at that, all that detail, all that texture, the grip handle right there, and the grenade launching part right there looks good. Even more so, even the barrel, and the barrel has that kind of look to it, and you can kind of see through it. This is top notch. There's the top of it. You can see that all that textured. The flip side, again, just more amazing texture. Look at that. Just looks amazing. Just looks fantastic in my opinion. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. When McFarlane does weapons, this is what I'm talking about. And to me, this is my favorite one out of all of them. Of the weapons pack number 1. Now, of course, the main question is this worth it? Should you buy weapons pack number 1? Easily a must buy. Thumbs up for me. For $15, you get all these cool looking weapons. For $15, I mean, come on now. $15? Fantastic deal. Now, if you were to ask me, Mondo, what if it was 20? I still think for $20, it's still a really good deal. You get really good looking weapons. And they look good. A lot of detail. For $20, excuse me, if you were to get it for $20, I still think it's a good deal. Is it worth $25? Sorry, I'm putting the long revolver on Joker, but is it worth purchasing it for $25? In my honest opinion, I think for $25 is probably the max I would pay. In my opinion, I don't like paying over retail, and to me, if I miss out, it is what it is. So to me, paying $25, just for me, I wouldn't. But again, that's just me though. I know some people are like, no, I must get it. If you're that kind of person, do what you got to do. But to me, no more than $25, in my opinion, though. But regardless of the price, is it actually worth the purchase price? Easily a thumbs up for me. Weapons pack number 1. Here we go. Here is a look at Joker with the long revolver. I kind of have to tinker with it, kind of make it fit more better, but I just wanted to show you guys how it looks. And like I said, I just have to play with it, making sure it fits in there, which it does, but it's just being a little punked right now. But there you go. Just wanted to show you guys how it looks. And again, like I said, I just have to play with it, make it look really good though. But nonetheless, you got that Joker with that long barrel, and I think it looks really cool. And here we have Hush. We have Hush with the 2 plain looking weapons. Not the greatest looking weapons, like I said, but here you have Hush here. You know, if you know with this figure, it came with 2 different knives, which doesn't make sense, but here we go. At least you can actually put on weapons on here, make it look cool. And then there you go. You can have a little bit tilted head type of thing. Just play around with it, but there you go. We have Hush here with 2 different weapons, though. So overall, though, like I said, is it worth the purchase price? Do I recommend getting weapons pack number 1? Definitely must buy. Just if it's $25 or more, to me, I don't think it's worth the purchase price. But that's just me, though. But yeah, that's an overview of weapons pack number 1, and that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button on the support channel to keep up to date and watch videos like this. Oh, before I do that, I forgot to show you. Wow, completely forgot. Weapons pack number 2. So, of course, the question you might ask is, which one do I think is better? Here's the... I'm going to see if I can show you a comparison. Okay. Here's where it gets a little interesting. And this is where I think, for me, this is where one's better than the other. And this is just from my opinion. So, here we go. Weapons pack number 1, right? Weapons pack number 2. I prefer the color on this one more than this one. I like this more like silver, kind of like dirty look to it compared to this one. But I can see people liking this one more because this is more of like the traditional kind of look to it. If that makes any sense. So this is why I like weapons pack number 2 compared to number 1, in my honest opinion. And I personally would prefer weapons pack number 2. I prefer number 2 than number 1 because of the color. Don't get me wrong, I like this color. I like the look of weapons pack number 1. But if you were to ask me which one out of these 2, in terms of color-wise, I'm going to go for this. I think this color looks better than this one. But I can see people liking this one more because this is more of a traditional kind of look to it. But to me, I like this more. And that's the main like difference that I see on here compared to the regular ones. I'll show you another example on here. And let's do... Here you go. You have the cool futuristic looking weapon here on the left, and you got the right one here, regular traditional weapon. Again, they both look good, but to me, well, I'll put it this side. But to me, I would prefer weapons pack number 2 because again, the color difference. So look at the color difference, right? Look at the color difference. This has that kind of like silver gray with some black to it. This one's just a one solid color, but I can see people liking this one because again, it has that traditional look. If that makes any sense. But to me, I like this color. So of course, if you were to ask me which one do I prefer, I'm gonna go to weapons pack number 2 only because of the color. Only because of that. And that's what I wanted to show you guys so you guys can see the really difference in terms of the colors though. But nonetheless though, they both look good. And yeah, now this is it. A conclusion overview of the weapons pack number 1 by Todd McFarlane. And on to the next one.